So let's go to 33 real quick here. And we're going to solve that one. That's going to be my example to follow here. Okay. So make sure you pay close attention because there's going to be a bunch of things that are just little things that I add, but that makes a big difference. Okay. On page 33. First of all, we're told that a ship, right, leaves the port. You leave here and you go straight south. So south, obviously, we're going straight down. If a bearing of 0 means you're going north, a bearing of 180 degrees would get you straight south. Okay? Watch what it says next. It says that you're traveling south for 2 hours at 35 kilometers per hour. Right? And after the 2 hours, it changes course, right? It changes course and travels, watch this, 20 degrees west of south, circle that, for 3 hours at the same speed, circle that. Okay. There's a bunch of information here. How far is it being the boat, from the port after 5 hours? Why 5 hours? Well, you travel 2 hours in one direction, then you change course, you travel another 3. It makes sense that it's 5 hours, right? Okay, let's figure out what's happening here. So you're going south at first, and then it's saying that you turn 20 degrees west. So make an arrowhead right there, just so you understand that that boat at this point here, make a big dot at that corner. It's changing course, it's turning 20 degrees west, and that's the new trajectory. Okay? You remember I told you at the beginning, distance is found by going hours times the speed. Okay? If you want to know how far you traveled, that's what you do. So we're going to take our 2 hours, multiply that by 35 kilometers an hour. Mental math, what is that? 2 times 35? 70 kilometers. Okay. And then the next one, it had been 2.5 hours, and it's 2.5, no big deal. So 3 hours at the same speed. Three times 35, that's 105 kilometers exactly. So now you have your distances. So I'll just tell you that, right, this is the first stretch. That's the 70. And this here is the second stretch, which is the 105. I don't know about you, but right now you might be like, I don't need highlighters. But later when you review down the road, if you go to this page, you're like, okay, boom, 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 I know what's happening, right? So partial information done. The ultimate question is to see where's the boat after 5 hours, right? So this is location after 5 hours, okay? Location after 5 hours is right here. The arrowhead is kind of deceiving because it's like, well, it keeps going, but it wants to know at 5 hours, how far away would you be from the port? So we're going to call that X. This is the ultimate question. Okay. And there's something happening at this corner right here. You probably notice that the 20 degrees is not inside the triangle, right? But if you zoom out, let's go in, we're just going to zoom out here. And just for a minute, just go like this, dot, and you go dot, 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 or dashed line like that. And if this is 20 degrees, right, what's the other part of that angle going to be? 160, right? 160. Why? Because a straight line, any straight line is 180. So if you know part of it, then this chunk right here is 160. And I'm going to use that same highlighter, bring it in here. Right? And this 160, I will bring it in here, just like that. And you can call this supplementary, right? Angles, they add up to 180. So just like a triangle, all three angles add up to 180. Same with a straight line. If you know 20, this is 160. If this is 50, you know the other one is 130, right? So just subtract from 180 and you get that. So now you have everything you need to solve this question. You will notice that this is an SAS scenario, right? Which means cosine law. You have the side, the angle, and another side. It's sandwiched between the two sides. And since the 160 is given, you can solve the side across from it. There's something about pairing things up, the angle and the side, right? However, cosine law looks a little different. It's x squared will be the first side squared plus the second side squared minus 2 times 105 times 70 times cosine of 160. And here, I actually want you to figure this one out. I'm going to give you a couple seconds because there's an issue with cosine of 160 if you do this in steps. Because let's put this in our notes. This chunk right here, right, will be negative, right? Cosine of 160, if you have your calculators, if you just go cosine of 160, cosine of an obtuse angle gives you a negative, which means that if you do this in chunks, this negative meets this other negative. And I don't know if you remember from, I don't know, grade 9, you did a lot of the double negatives, right? These two meet and turn positive. So it's actually this plus this whole thing. But if you do this in one shot, like if you have a calculator that can do that, you don't have to worry about what I'm talking about right now. You just type it all in, see what you get. Go for it. I'm going to wait a little bit because it causes a lot of issues if you don't know how to do this. And the answer is, you ready? 29,738.481, and that keeps going. But that's not the answer, is it? That's not the ultimate answer. We need to square root it. Right? If you want x, then you need to square root whatever's on the other side. You're basically square rooting both sides. So when you do that, you get 172.45 kilometers. There you go. You solved this problem. But was there a lot going on? Yes, right? You had speed, time. You had an angle that was outside. You had to bring it inside. Look for that. They're usually quite obvious. Go ahead. I'm going to give you I'm going to foreshadow what's going to happen after this. I'm going to give you some work time. However, other cases coming soon. It's like movies coming to the theater near you, right? I'm just going to give you one, right? So make a dot here, straight line, and a tall building of some sort, or a cliff, or a mountain, you name it. So there will be scenarios where there's a person way out here and it's looking straight to the top of that building, right? And it could be that that person, let's say that person is jogging, so it keeps coming closer to the building, and then at another point looks up again at that same top of the building. And so when you're further away, let's say it's 40 degrees here, as you get closer to something, your head has to go higher up, correct? Yeah. So this would be, let's go 70. So they give you this, they give you that, and they will tell you, hey, this person went 200 feet from one point to the other point. And you're like, well, there's not a whole lot of information there, is there? Like with this triangle, I can't really do anything. But watch out, you may be wrong, because there is your supplementary angle. If this is 70, then what do we know about this one here? It's going to be 110, right? And all of a sudden you have two angles inside this triangle here, and you can work with it, because now that you have two, you can find the third, have a pair, sine law it is, you're going to town. That's what's happening. That's what's coming soon. Okay, that's why I'm going to get you to work on these. And I need you to work on them, okay? Because remember, our quiz is on Monday. This stuff can be on there, okay? So come with me. I'll tell you what I'm going to ask you to work on. So basically, if you flip the page, I posted 34, page 34, all the way to 36. So I'm going to call this homework, but you're going to start here, okay? Pages 34 to 36. Okay. And I'm going to let you struggle with it a little bit, right? I'm going to let you struggle with it. Here are the answers, though, for the first page. It's going to be on Google Classroom, but maybe write this down. Angle EFD is 110. Angle D is 30. I'm walking you through this, basically. And down here, side ED is 2892.37. Side DF is 1978.50, and they're all in kilometers. It's not drawn to scale, okay? Some students are like, one side looks shorter than the other, Mr. Dirksen, but don't worry about that. The angles should match up. A big angle will have the longest side across from it, stuff like that. If you're stuck, keep attempting. I'll come by and I will kind of get you going in the right direction, but you need to try it, all right? So 34, 35, and 36. I will tell you that 36 is complementary, right? I gave you the answers already, but it's not that bad. You can get it done today. Well, maybe not completely, but at least do one or two questions, right? Thank you, guys.